Hi, this is Karen at Sonrise Ranch Bees. It is February 4th today. Right now the temperature is about 60 degrees. The maple trees are blooming and we are expected to have almost a week of 60 to 70 degree temps in the daytime and probably 48 to 55 degree nights. So I've decided to put out my bucket feeder that David inspired from Barnyard Bees sometime last year. And we used the bucket feeder. I got a smaller one because I only am running some 8 frames, two 10 frames, 2 8 frames, and I had 2 nukes, but one died out about 2 weeks ago. And after doing an autopsy on the hive, it seemed as though they starved, even though they had dry sugar and pollen in the top. All the bees were, not all of them, but the cells were filled solid with bees inside the cell with their butts sticking out. And the rest of the cluster had died and dropped to the bottom. I did not find a queen when I did the autopsy, but for a late started nuke, 5-frame nuke, there were, I would say, a good 3 frames of bees in that cluster. I don't know if it got too cold and they couldn't get to water, and if they can't, I'm not sure if they can't digest dry sugar without some water. But whatever happened, they all looked healthy. I checked everything for mites and beetles, and there was no sign of any of that. So I'm assuming they starved to death. So I'm taking advantage of this warm week we're supposed to be having, and I made up about maybe a gallon of 2 to 1 sugar water. So I just wanted to take a second and show you. I am going to flip it over. I like to put it here because on top of something else to gather the sugar, because sometimes it leaks a little bit until the vacuum is sealed, and this bucket is only filled to about here. So this is a 2-gallon pail, and when you mix 2 to 1 sugar, this is about where, right about here is where it's filled to. So anyway, the vacuum takes a little longer to seal. So I also brought my hammer. I have flipped these buckets once in a while and the lid was not on tight. So I'm prepared. Also, I have, when I first bought this bucket, I did not check to see that the lid had a rubber seal in it, and I had a wreck my first go round. This one does have a seal in it, and but it was not from the same company that I bought the bucket from, so it may be, that might be why I have a little bit of trouble keeping it sealed. But anyway, I also have a big 5-gallon bucket, but I only have a few hives, so this smaller bucket works for me. Just make sure you get the one that has a rubber seal in the lid, and and then check your lid just to make sure. I'm not real happy right there, but we're gonna give it a try, and hopefully we don't get baptized like the rooster did. So we'll see. Okay, so far so good. Now the liquid is filled up to the top of this lip right here. So sometimes until that vacuum takes hold, you might get a little bit of a drip, but so far I don't see a drip. So far so good. Now let's see how long it takes these. The bees are right over there. They're working. It's about 11:45 and the sun is shining. So we're going to wait a few minutes to see how long it takes for the first bee. Let's see if we can zoom in. I don't know if you can see the hives over there. We'll just have to be a little patient. I'm going to pause it because I don't want this video to be too long, but I'll get back with you and let you know. Well, it's been a good 45 minutes and there is still no bees on the bucket. So I'm going to take you over and show you what's going on over here. It looks like these bees are very active, but it almost looks like they're doing orientation flights. A lot of activity going on. So I am going to suit up and I'm going to start doing inspections to see. The maples here have been in bloom for 2 weeks. We've had a lot of rain, but I'm curious to see what's going on inside the boxes. So I'm going to post this video separate, and then later I'll post the one where I'm doing some of these inspections. So be blessed. This is Karen at Sonrise Ranch in South Carolina. Have a wonderful day.